The problem with looking at a chart is when you see it, अब देखो क्या trend है इसमें?
पेपर नीचे लगा, पेपर
क्या problem है?
नहीं
You shooting?
Save the tree.
You shooting?
पेपर नीचे। ये boomer लोग ना।
So if you look at this chart, you might think there is a breakdown about to happen, and someone else might think, यार breakout होने वाला है, 3 बार touch किया है, support हो गया है. The problem is you don't really know where the trend is, and to solve this, we actually have something called Heikin Ashi charts, and this is something we're going to explore today. And I'm going to give you a setup you can use so you can understand what a Heikin Ashi chart is. In today's video, we're going to learn a setup based on reversals so you can use the Heikin Ashi effectively. So when you want to trade a setup, you basically need probability on your side. You want to make sure the more you trade, most of the trades are actually likely to be winners and some of them are likely to be losers. Probability comes down to 2 other factors, which is accuracy and risk-reward ratio. Accuracy means out of 100 trades, how many trades actually won. So we'll try to find a setup which actually is little more than 50%. Anyone claiming 90, 99%, 80% is probably lying. Anything above 50% is fine. Then there is risk to reward ratio. This is very, very simple. Let's suppose you place a trade and the distance between your entry and your initial stop loss is rupees 10. This is defined as your risk. You want to make sure your reward is more than 2x of your initial risk. So in this case, 10 multiplied by 2, 20. For every 10 rupees you're risking, hopefully the reward is 20 rupees. So 2 things, accuracy should be more than 50% and risk to reward ratio should be 1:2. So let's start. First, I will not explain what Heikin Ashi is because we've already done that in a video. You should go check that out. Basically, it smoothens out price. So if you look at this chart over here, look and see the uptrend, downtrend. Now see me change it to Heikin Ashi. Isn't it easier to see which area was an uptrend and which area was a downtrend? So why don't you do this with me? Open up a chart in your favorite charting software. Open a company, preferably Nifty 50. Let's do a monthly chart because it's easier and change it to Heikin Ashi. This is your first step. Now what I want you to see is we have a string of green bars and then we have 2 bars which turn to red. Remember, 2 consecutive bars are important. This is your first step. So Heikin Ashi chart, you have a string of green bars and then you have these 2 bars. First one's red, second one is red. I'll call it C1 and C2. This is your first setup. The next thing you need to do is add a standard stochastic indicator. And basically, a stochastic is measuring price momentum and trend. Basically, it's telling you, is the price momentum moving upwards in a strong enough fashion relative to its own past? Same for a downtrend. So all you have to do is take a horizontal bar, put it on 50. If we are above 50, long only trades. If we are below 50, short only trades. This is your step 2. Now I want you to pause the video, go get a paper and pen and write this down. We're going to talk about the entry, the exit, profit targets, etc., all of that. But since we're talking about notes, I thought we should give a shout out. There's this new section we're going to add every single week where we're going to give a shout out to the best Prime user. And this time we have Harshal Shah. Check this out. This guy's never learned trading before and he made all these amazing notes. Great job. If you want to check out Prime 2, you can go to the description and fill out the form. Hopefully you get into the free program. So the entry, open up the chart and you have Heikin Ashi. Now you remember I talked about the color change, right? String of green bars. We need 2 red bars. So C1, C2. When C3 happens, basically the open is going to be your entry. As soon as that candle starts, that's your entry point. So now fire up the Heikin Ashi chart and see you have a string of down candles, all of them red, and how beautifully Heikin Ashi shows the trend. Now we need C1 and C2, which is 2 consecutive green bars. So we have that here and here. Now C3, which is a 3rd candle, as soon as that candle opens, that is your long entry point. Wait, that can't be the long entry, right? We have step 2 for that. We have to make sure stochastic is above the 50 line. So make sure you have C1 and C2, then make sure stochastic is above 50. So once you fulfill this criteria, basically C3's open is your entry point. The stop loss is going to be C2's low, and your target is going to be, well, let's calculate this. Your open, that is C3 ka open is your entry. Let's say it's rupees 100. Your stop loss is, let's say, rupees 90. That 10 rupees is your risk. Multiply that by 2. That's going to be your target. So 20 rupees plus your entry point is going to be your target. So let's look at a few examples. Let's start with the banking sector. I'll pick a stock here. As you can see, we have a string of down days over here. Heikin Ashi made that trend really simple. We got C1, C2, C3 was our entry. Also, why we took the entry? Because the stochastic was above 50. So we knew the momentum was up. The stop loss is right here at C2's low, and the target is right there. In this case, you can see that the target was met. That's not always the case. Let's look at another example in the same sector, but what a loss trade looks like. So over here again, we have the markets going down. We have C1, C2, and let's look down. You can see that we have the stochastic above the 50 line. Great. As soon as C3 opens, that's your entry point. C2 ka low is going to be your stop loss. It felt like the market was going up, but you got stopped out. Now, this is a reality of trading and setups. First, what I've taught you is not a system. Don't go out and actually trade it. It's simply a way to explain what a system looks like and how Heikin Ashi works. So if you think that this video helped you understand what Heikin Ashi is by showing you a practical example, please put it in the comments. It'll really help us understand whether this was useful or not. Second, losses are always part of the game. Ideally, what you need to do is backtest a system over 5-10 years, find out the accuracy rate, the risk reward ratio, how much money you made, what was the worst case scenario, which is called the maximum drawdown, and based on those things, a system is built. A few other things for you to think about. If you ever want to analyze using Heikin Ashi, please use a higher time frame. Don't even do daily. In my world, weekly and monthly works best. Second, try to work only with Nifty 50. You can try Nifty 100, but I think Nifty 50 top companies are usually the best bet because there is liquidity, you won't pick a bad stock, and it's a higher time frame. It should be okay. The most important thing for you to do right now is learn everything you can about trading and investing, then learning a system. Of course, we teach it for free in Prime. You can learn it there. You can also learn it online, but I think the way we teach, you'll be able to actually get feedback whether you were right or wrong, and you'll make friends in the community. After that, you should paper trade, learn how risk management works, and give it time. Don't think trading can happen overnight. So if you thought this was interesting, you need to tell me two things. One, should we do videos around other trading setups or other indicators, for example? Do you want us to cover more indicators like, say, stochastic, etc.? Or do you want us to cover more types of charts like Heikin Ashi or Renko? Put all of your comments down and we'll find the most voted one and we'll make videos on that. If you found this useful, give a subscribe. See you in the next one. I meant it nicely. Ye tumhara homegrown hai. Oh, that's not. Sorry. गलत हो गया. क्या हुआ? क्या? What are you doing? What did you capture that? Mic लिया, mic को सिर्फ गया. Gotcha.